Hi, everybody. How are you? Good afternoon from Canada, and good evening or good morning from wherever anyone else is at. I really want to thank you so very much for coming to this live event. And today, I'd like to welcome everyone to the 5 top scams predicted for 2022 and 10 tips on how to avoid them. I pray you're doing well and prepared to learn about the different types of scams. The number of scammers and fraudsters are increasing every day and putting all of us at risk of having our identity stolen and losing tens of thousands of dollars. So I really do hope that you actually maybe have the ability to either screenshot some of the slides, or if you use your smartphone or camera to take a picture, because there are some slides that I think would be very beneficial to have. So having said that, with that, I would like to share my screen now with you, because I know how to do that, right? There we go. So, welcome. Today we are doing the 5 top scams and to watch out for in 2022, and 10 tips to avoid being scammed. So, when it comes to scams today, we are just touching the base on the number of types of scams. So, when I say that we have 5, I know of 40 different types of scams that I could speak on. And literally, each one of these scams could take an hour to learn how to spot the scam and how to address it when you do come to it, and how to spot it and avoid it, and what to do if you are scammed, and what to do if you know of people who are scammed, and if they are um, if they're not telling you that they're scammed but you suspect that they are. So it is a problem that people don't want to talk about, and I just feel that there is a need to definitely send all the information, all the vibes I can out there to let people know that scam prevention should be a word, and it should be a comfortable topic to. Well, I don't know if the word comfortable is the right word, but it is a topic that people should be able to talk about. So I have heard so many devastating stories of how people have been robbed of their life savings, how they've lost their families and homes, or their hearts have been broken. Some people died by suicide. Businesses have lost their customers. Private personal information was stolen, where a ransom was demanded in order for them to have their business back up and running. All of these because they didn't know about scams, fraud over the internet, or cybercrime, internet identity theft, ransomware, and hackers, or they didn't have the proper software to protect from hackers. So I believe in definitely what this quote by Ashley Judge says, that says, you, and I'm going to say you, have so much power to bring awareness, prevention, and change to yourself, to your loved ones, even your frenemies. Like, I just don't think that anybody deserves to be scammed to the level that some of these scammers are taking advantage of people. So, I'm Darlene Petrie, and I'm with Scam Prevention International. And today I'm here to help you decrease your risk of being scammed and keeping your hard earned dollars in your bank account and your identity to remain safe. So, for 37 years, I've prided myself on bringing resources to the community that help people defend themselves and be the best that they can be. I created Scam Prevention International because I felt there was a gap in services, and many people out in the world are not aware of how they are at risk, that they are just one click away from losing their life savings. So let's have some fun and learn about how to protect ourselves from scammers and see where we can go from here. I just wanted to let you know that, it can happen to anybody. So when people ask me why scam prevention, why is that my new passion? My passion was I worked with children and youth who were in conflict with the law and who were homeless. And since my retirement, I have taken the passion of scam prevention. So, because I know it can happen to anybody, I was scammed. It was a romance scam, catfish, as some people call it. I was a widow at that time of 14 years. I was happy with my life. I loved my job. I traveled all over the world, as you can see in the photo. I was in Paris. I've been to 37 different countries. I volunteer in different countries, mostly in West Africa. And my family, this is my family, that's my daughter and my great granddaughter beside her, and my two grandchildren, and I do have more. I, I thought of myself as a well rounded, educated person, and I've always considered myself a lifelong learner, yet knew nothing about scams. I knew of criminals, face to face crimes. I knew I had to keep my computer safe from viruses and not access personal information when I'm at free Wi Fi sites. But I didn't know that scamming was a $6 trillion a year industry by hackers and scammers, who, by the way, have a fancy job title called social engineers. So that's who I am. And so, yes, I truly believe we have a responsibility to help others and our loved ones to be safe when on the internet or when we're being targeted by scammers. And now that you know about scamming, I feel that you need to be able to talk about it. I need to be able to talk about it. People in general need to. I mean, you're not going to walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, have you been scammed today?" No, that's not like that. But you listen for clues. You watch and talk to people. And when you're talking to people, when you should be really listening to them. So these have been identified as the top 5 upcoming scams. So you've got the heads up on this. So the top coming scams for 2022 by the FTC, which is in the United States, which is the Federal Trade Commission, and the Better Business Bureau, and they are all over North America, and the AARP. So this is just a start, and we do need to continue on learning how to increase our awareness and others so they don't get scammed. Later on, I'll tell you how you can continue increasing your awareness and learning about all the other scams, as there are many. But today, for now, we'll focus on pet scams, employment fraud, real estate, and rental fraud and cryptocurrency. So, I have been speaking on the subject of scam prevention for 2 years. I've been in front of audiences, have been on podcasts, LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, Facebook Live many times. I did a spiel, and you can find it in Facebook on the different types of scams that go on during the holiday shopping season. I've arranged for victims of identity theft to come speak about their trauma and what they have for suggestions on how to avoid it. I've arranged for a scammer to talk to us to give us insight as to why they have chosen this profession. I have spoken at a women's group where women who were actively talking to scammers, and due to my presentation at that time, were saved from losing thousands of dollars and their hearts. Two of the women were actually speaking to a scammer who was portraying himself as Scott, and he's the gentleman up in this picture. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but he's the gentleman in the photo. So, needless to say, hearing this spurred me on to keep bringing awareness on scam prevention. So, yeah, I think we'll get into it now. So, cute little puppy here, just so you know. Pet scams aren't always about little cute puppies. During my research on scam prevention, I learned about many different types of scams. I thought there must be some common characteristics of how to prevent being scammed in most of the different types of scams. Later, we'll talk about this later. So, pet scams are on the rise, and it isn't only about these cute little puppies, and he is adorable. Many people have been scammed by answering ads or posting about exotic animals or pets, birds, snakes, spiders, turtles, any kind of pet you say you want, they will have it. The scammers don't care about what type of pet you want, they just want your identity and your money. So, what are the warning signs? With pet scams, usually they have extreme discount or free, but you have to pay shipping if it's out of your area. They will have many excuses, such as they are going out of business. This is why it's cheap or free. They have too many in stock. It was a pet of their child and the child died, and it is heartbreaking for them to keep the pet and they have to move. They just come up with so many different excuses, and many times they'll base it on the conversations that you've been having with them. So it is quite a skill that these scammers have. And so as the transaction continues, they will continually ask you for money for different needs, such as papers for the pet because they were destroyed. They need to pay to get new ones. A certain kind of container must be used if you're shipping it. The pet got sick, so they'll need veterinary fees must be paid. They will usually express an urgency and need money right away. They'll want you to pay through money transfer, gift cards, and or cryptocurrency. So if people are asking those definitely are red flags. I don't know any vet that I can go to say, I have gift cards. Will you fix my pet? So to avoid the scam, ask yourself, is this too good to be true? Do your research. Whether it's on the person or the business, look them up on social media and on a search engine. Don't click on any information that they have sent you in an email or text. Absolutely never click on anything. Put the address in the address bar yourself. Be skeptical if the price is free or very cheap. Check the seller's name. With they have a type of watchdog scammers, or if you're having a bird, then they'll have different watch lists for your different type of pets, and you can see if that company or that name is listed on it. And I've said this again, and I'm going to say this, I don't know, 100 times during this um, webinar, is do not click on any links the seller has in their texts or emails. If you've been scammed, do report it. You can report it on my website. You can find out where to report it. I have different countries listed. And I also have, if the country that you are from is not listed on the website, then you can email me or you can contact me. I have a WhatsApp contact as well, and all that information will be given. So if you have been scammed, do report it at scampreventioninternational.com/resources. Or you can contact me at darlene@scampreventioninternational.com. And I'll post these in the comments section. The next scam we're going to talk about is employment scams. Scammers have their hands in many different types of jobs, but mostly they find jobs that you can do from home. So, with many people having a taste of working from home, many don't want to return to the office, and scammers know this. Scammers will post positions or look for people who are looking for work in all of employment sites like monster.com, Indeed, Workopolis, Craigslist, Kijiji. These are just to name a few. However, they will charge you a fee. They'll tell you you can start your own business or sell ads or be a mystery shopper or be a research assistant, all of which they will get your personal identification and bank information from you so they can pay you. How do you avoid that scam? If it's too good to be true, stay away from it. Follow your gut. Don't click on the website they send you. Do your research. Type the name in the URL. Call the company from the name you researched and ask if they have the person as an employee. And do they have the authority to hire you? If it's an online interview, insist on a video call. If they say they can't for whatever reason, do not communicate with them anymore. If the video call is blurry or the voice is not clear, don't communicate with them anymore. Do block and do report them. And next one is our online shopping scams. At this point, I have to say that each of these, we are only touching the tip of the iceberg of each one. So, of the puppy scam, of the employment scam, of the online shopping scam. These are just tiny little tidbits that we're able to do in such a short period of time. I could spend, like I said, hours on different scams, and I will provide at the end an infographic of the 10 tips to avoid the scams in the comments after the presentation. I'll also give you information on how you can stay up to date on scams and the new tactics that scammers are using. And they are clever. They come up with lots of stuff. So, in regards to the shopping online, the seller, what signs to watch out for is the seller is offering the merchandise at an extremely low price. If they say the price is too good to be true, or if you feel that the price is too good to be true, then chances are it is. The seller is insisting on immediate one time offer payment without giving you time to research their website. The ad might say, if you leave this website, you'll lose this opportunity to purchase this item at this very low price. They do not have, they don't give you the option to pay with a credit card or through PayPal. Payment is being asked through money wire transfer, gift cards, or cryptocurrency. If it's a social media ad based store and it's new and they don't have any contact information other than just the purchasing site, that's a red flag. And I also want to comment on, if you are on social media, that the ad that's on the left, it's on my left, the lady that says losing weight after 70. If you look, I circle the word sponsored. So typically, if the word sponsored is there, then it is usually a safe bet that it is a paid ad and the scammer isn't, that this isn't a scammer ad. However, having said that, it is possible they are getting trickier and trickier. So, again, take that name Health Insider and type it in the address bar and see if that is. And see if the how to lose weight over 70 is an actual site. So, and in the on the right hand side, there's a photo of what to look for in your address bar. So if you see the bar on top, it has a lock and it has an S. So if it has a lock and it has an S, chances are it's a pretty safe bet that it's a secure site. However, again, not 100%. Now, if you see that it doesn't have the lock and it's not secure and it doesn't have the S, then I would be very leery on going into that website. Now, having said that, I do have to say that sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes you do get new people selling and they are selling legitimately. And sometimes they do have the security features, but so it's not always 100%. So there are other things that you can look for if that's the case. So really watch for spelling mistakes or incorrect grammar. If check reviews, are there any reviews that people have written? If they have very few reviews, or they have many reviews, but the reviews are very flowery and extremely complimentary, I would I would be and also check to see if what they're saying in the review, does it have anything to do with what you are buying or are looking for. So these are things that you can watch for. If they do, even if they do have all of the security features, they've got the sponsors, they've got the security lock, and they've got the S. Still, if they don't have good reviews, or if they don't have any reviews, I mean, or if they have too many flowery reviews and the spelling is bad and they have poor grammar, it's really good idea to make sure that you are checking that out, and typing in the name of the company and checking it out. So the next one is real estate and rental scams. Now, with these, real estate scams are rare. However, they did make it to the top five because of the amount of money that is being lost to individuals and families. Because when you purchase a house, you put tens of thousands of dollars down, and when you're renting a place, you always seem to have the first month and last month's rent. So payments to purchasing these properties are higher. Hence the reason it's in the top five. So in the US in 2020, I couldn't find anything earlier than that, like, in regards to the real estate and rental scams. So and if I do, I will update this information. So according to the FBI in 2020, they found that 13,600 people were victims of real estate and rental fraud, and to a total cost of $213 million going to scammers. So often, just so you know, it's not the person who owns the property. Usually what happens is often the real estate fraud occurs because the true owner of the property has been a victim of identity theft, and they may not even know that they've had their identity stolen because nothing has come up, but their name is being used. And if they don't have a real time identity theft protection program, then they wouldn't know that their name and social insurance number and credit cards, and they wouldn't know that their identity has been stolen. So often the seller and buyer or landlord of the property is requesting funds. So if it is a scam, to watch for is the seller or buyer or landlord of the property will be requesting funds immediately. I need you to wire transfer me money because I have people coming to look at it. And if you're not going to pay for it now, then I'm going to give it to them and we won't be able to hold it for you. So they are always creating that urgency, that need that you need to do it right now. And sight unseen, they want you to put the money down to hold the property. Know that this is definitely a red flag. And they'll forward you emails. They'll say, here's an email. If you want to look at the site, you can, I can't come to see it right now, but you can look at it on the email. I have pictures of it. There's, you can see each of the rooms and it gives you the measurements and they're going to send you the link, but do not click on the link in the email. Like I would just say thank you, but no thank you. You may be desperate, and this is what the scammers are relying on, is people looking for homes, looking for housing, looking to purchase, but they are looking for people's urgency as well. And so they're relying on you to be desperate, and they're relying on you to click on all of that information. And you're probably wondering, why am I keep harping on this not to click on the sites? So just just to give you a little bit of information about that, is the reason I'm saying it is because if you click on the websites or the links on the emails or texts that they send you, they can put malware, viruses, ransomware. They can install these on your computer. They don't have to have remote access to get into your computer. They can get into it by you just clicking on one of their links. So you really, really need to. I can't enforce it enough. When I say that you stand to lose your life savings in just one click, I am truly serious about that. Like I know of people that have had that happen to them, and it's a very sad, like their life savings are gone, the retirement fund is gone, and so they do have to start over again. And some of them are my age. Like I don't know what I would do if anything like that ever happened. Well, I have protection about it, so I don't have to worry about it. So having said that, there is no such thing as 100%. So how do you avoid the real estate and rental scams? Well, first and foremost, you should be dealing with a person face to face. If you're buying a property, especially if you're renting a property, you need to be seeing these people. Never, ever give your personal or financial information out to someone you don't know and you don't trust. So, someone don't know and don't trust, don't be given information. And really, if you don't know them, I guess that trust factor hasn't been in there. But I know some of us, and I'm going to say us because I'm one of those people who I like to trust. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt first. And I've been bitten a few times about that. But never send money for sight unseen property or to the owner. In fact, it's probably a good idea to look up on Google Maps for a street view. And when you're talking to the property owner or landlord, make sure you ask questions. If the owner is vague or can't give you details of the questions that you're asking, this is a red flag. Just to put it out there, scammers are very good at leading you away from questions if they can't answer them. If you've asked questions, always go back, and they haven't answered them, they've led you off in a different direction, always go back to the question if they're trying to lead you away from it. So there's more information in the PDF that has all of the 5 top scams that will be provided to you for free. I'll include it in the comments section after the webinar. And it has a lot of this information in it as well. So, and the next one is cryptocurrency. So I must ask, have you been approached by people asking you to invest in cryptocurrency? Please type yes or no if you've been approached by someone asking you to invest in cryptocurrency. And then the other question I have is, do you know what cryptocurrency is? Please type in yes or no in the chat. So, some of the warning signs for scammers, they will send you unsolicited. Oh, we do have someone that has been solicited on Instagram for cryptocurrency, and again, it's we always like to think that that people are offering something, but really you have to, if you don't know the person, you don't want to invest with the person. um, so I know some people have purchased some, and let's see, purchased some. Okay, so they again, yes, very good, Cindy. The purchase from people you know and trust. So the warning signs, like I say, will the scammers will send you unsolicited message wanting you to click on the newest way to increase your investment portfolio. They have the lingo down. Like they know, we want you to increase your investment portfolio and it will double in the next month. Well, that would be awesome if that was true. So, how to avoid the scam? I've been told that information on cryptocurrency changes almost daily. Scammers know this, and when they try to have you invest in it, they'll tell you that what they are telling you is new rules. So if you know something about cryptocurrency and you say, I don't know what you would say about it because I'm not a cryptocurrency investor, but if you do say something and they say, oh no, it's not that way, these are the new rules, you know that that's probably a scam. It's definitely a red flag. They'll tell you that the currency can be exchanged anytime internally. The key word to be watching out for is internally. Chances are, if they tell you that, then that's a Ponzi scheme and that the currency has no market value. You can only exchange it in the community you bought it from. Do educate yourself. Seek professional advice. Look for reviews. Make sure the owner's name and address of the company are listed on the website. Make sure the name of the person that you're dealing with works for that company. Call the company. Ask them, is this person an investment officer? You need to, when it comes to putting your money into other people's hands, it is always great to make sure that you do your research. You won't be sorry that you did, that's for sure. So, what do you do if you think you have been scammed? So, if you think you've been scammed or you are talking to a scammer, stop all contact immediately with the scammer. Do not make any more payments if you have made payments, and contact the bank or the service that you sent the money to. And what do you do after all of that? Because you need to do those as soon as you think that you have been scammed, as soon as you think money has been taken out of your account, you need to call those services. If you paid with credit card, it's actually quite good that you paid with credit card because lots of times you are able to recover your money back. But if you sent a money transfer or you sent a gift card or you paid in cryptocurrency, then chances are you will not have your money come back to you. So, and then what to do after? You assess your security at home and online. And so when I say you assess your security at home, what when you talk about your, I'm just looking up at mine now, the the um, the Wi-Fi, make sure that when you get your Wi-Fi, it comes with a password, but do make sure that you change that password and change it maybe every 6 months or at least every year. Like, do make sure that you change your password and make your password something like not easy. Just to give you an example, I used to use the word Matthew 18. So when my grandson was 18 years old and his name is Matthew, I would use that as my password. So there's a site that you can go on and check and see how that password fits. Well, I found that I think it was 273 times Matthew 18 was used. Guess who doesn't use that password anymore? So when we say security at home, really make sure that your devices are secure. You have your computers or your laptops or your smartphones, your tablets. Make sure that all of them are protected and that they all have security involved, that they have software put into them. And equip yourself to recognize. Oh, and I was going to say also to use, like when you are creating passwords and dealing with different stuff, always use the multi authentication, because that's something that's going to help save and keep your identity safe and keep your money in your pockets. If somebody calls you and says, I have this information, but I need a passcode. Can you connect with Google to get this passcode? Never, ever fall for that. Never give anybody your security code if you are not the one who solicited the uh, phone call, initiated the phone call. So I don't know if you know what I mean. I'm not sure if I made that one clear enough or not, but um, I do have a training session on the password authentications. So equip yourself to recognize scams. And so that's where, like I said, we do have the 10 tips to avoid being scammed. And they're usually tips that fit the majority of the types of scams out there. And please do talk about what happened. It's so important to be able to let people know. Like I said, I was scammed, and I was very lucky that I had a very supportive family, and so and they support me in doing this as well. But it's so important because you feel so, I don't even know. There aren't any words to describe how low you feel. I hate to use the word stupid, but you do. You feel like you just, like, you wonder what you have been doing all your life that you didn't know anything like this could happen. So it's really, really important that you do talk about it. Now, having said that, talking about it sometimes is a little, um, when you talk to people, empathy is usually not the first thing that comes out of their mouth. Like, I can remember people telling me things like, "Oh, you fell for that? I wouldn't have fallen for that. How could you fall for that?" Yeah, I mean, it's bad enough they said it the first time, but when they reiterate it and had to say it three more times, like how I could be so stupid to fall for something like that. And then the other one was when I asked people to share my information on Facebook. So every week I put out an infographic on the sort of my scam of the week sort of thing. And I put the information out, and I've asked a few people, like, I see you don't like it and you don't share it. And I was just wondering why. And they say that they don't share it because their friends wouldn't fall for anything like that. They're close knit friends. That's it. Their close knit friends wouldn't fall for something like that. And I'm like, aren't I your close friend? So I don't know. Do share the information. Do talk about it, and also do be proactive and not reactive. And do install security software in your devices. So I know I know when I first saw this on the page, I thought, oh, wait a minute, that's not going to work. So just so you know, I will send you a copy of this, of the 10 top scams, so that you do have them. And if you'd keep them on your fridge, I mean, there's nothing wrong with, having the information out and about so people can see it. So those of you who have excellent reading, the first one says, don't be afraid to say no. And I have to tell you that many people I know, usually it's not that they don't want to say no, it's that they don't want to hurt the other person's feelings. So because these scammers, I got to tell you, they are clever. They can be kind, they can be loving, they can be so understanding, they know what you're going. Oh, they are so good. But don't be afraid to say no. If your gut is telling you to say no, say no. It's okay to ask questions if you're not sure about what they're offering you, and it is okay to hang up. Like, just hang up the phone if they're calling you, or block them on your phone if they're harassing you. Don't be pressured by high pressure tactics, and don't fall for urgent pleas. Do your research. And I know I've said this one before, but again, there are so many similarities of all the different types of scams, and this is definitely one of them on all of them. Like, do your research. If a family member calls in trouble verifying with other family, always verify with other families. So if you're grandson calls and says, I'm stuck at the police station and I'm being arrested, but I didn't do anything and I need bail. Can you send me some gift cards? And I'm not kidding when I say, can you send me some gift cards? They do ask for that. But if they do ask you for money, don't send it. They'll say, hi, they won't even say, they'll say, hi, grandma, do you know who this is? And grandma might say, hi, yeah, this is Johnny, but it isn't. Never give that information out. Have the caller give them their name. And if they say their name is Johnny and you have a grandson named Johnny and they say they're in trouble and in jail, you get on that phone immediately and you call Johnny's parents to find out if he's really in trouble. Because they, as parents, probably want to know that if it's not a bad scam. So do watch for fake ads also and fake logos. So verify your information, type website information in search engines, and don't click on links or texts in emails. So again, it's that do your research. Don't give out personal information. Your social security number or social insurance number for us in Canada is sacred. Like, you do not give that out to anybody. There's very, very few places that need that. So do not give out your name, your address, your phone number, credit card information. If you didn't initiate the call, you're not giving out the information. And then be aware of upfront fees. And that's people asking for money because they are offering you a service, they're giving you a job, but they want you to pay money so that you can get these kits. So in Canada, in regards to prizes for fees, there is no taxes on prize money, and there is no fees. So if they are asking you for it, it's not it's a scammer. They'll often ask you for fees in advance for services, loans, or goods, and it's actually illegal for a company to ask for upfront fees. And protect your computer. Install anti-software and update your operating system. Don't click on links, pop-ups, And don't call the number from the source that gives you the information. Look it up and watch for spelling errors and poor grammar. So do protect your computer. And I have to say, by getting anti software, it will block a lot of this, the pop ups. It has real time. Many of the software, there's a software that I do have, that I can make available, and it's and it gives you real time. If anybody's looking up my information, it will send me a notification that somebody is looking up at my information. And I also get information if my um, private information has been involved in somebody's ransomware. Be careful who you share your photos and videos with. If you don't have a webcam blocker, disable or um, block the lenses. Hackers can access it easily. And again, it's that I do have the web cam blocker and the voice over so that they can't steal my information and they can't use my photos. So carefully consider who you share confidential photos and videos with. Protect your online accounts. I talked a bit about this before, about the use of strong passwords, enable multi factor authentication, and only log in from trusted sources. When you're going to the cafes that are giving you the free Wi Fi, don't log in. It needs to, uh, I know lots of people, well, the VPN is something that's really important, and you should have that on all of your devices. Um, at work, so this is in regards to work. When you're at work, know your customer, ensure the company you're dealing with is legitimate. And so if you're receiving invoices and you have to pay them, really inspect the invoices carefully before paying. And I know for small businesses, that's usually not a big deal. But it can be when you're in a hurry. So if you're in a hurry and you see an invoice that comes across your desk and you think, oh, I don't remember this one. Oh, well, I better pay it because it's due in 15 days or something like that. So don't pay it unless you absolutely know 100% that that's the invoice. Then do not pay it. Do your research on it first. And at work, limit who has access to your data. So keep your private information private and have only the necessary number of people should have access to your personal and your financial information. The one thing that I wanted to add on this is when you are at work or when you are at home, the USB devices, never let anybody put a USB device into your computer, because sometimes what happens is a scammer will walk along and they'll drop it, and a young teenager or even adult, they'll say, "Oh, look at that USB! I wonder what's on it." Or I need one, so yay! Look at me! I found one. And they'll plug it into their computer, and it could be full of it could be full of viruses. It could be again that malware, ransomware, Trojan horses. It never, and don't, when I say don't let people put it in, I mean don't even let your children. If you're busy working and they have their own computer, but they can't run upstairs to get it, but yours is right there, don't let them do it, because if this is your work computer, you need to keep your work computer to be only your work computer. It should not be used for anything else, because your client's information is on there and you do have a due diligence to protect their information. So, also in regards to employment, watch for anomalies. So, if you are someone who is selling things, beware of sudden order changes. So, if somebody, the Sam's company usually orders only 10 cups a month, but this month they seem to want 100 because they're putting on an event. But why is Sam's company putting on an event? Check it out. Call Sam's company. Confirm that that's what the order is. probably maybe somebody got into Sam's computer and it's not there. It's not their order, so beware. So larger orders than usual and multiple orders of the same thing. So those are things to be aware of. So I will send this to you at the end of it. Um so next we have, what are people saying about Scam Prevention International? And so I hesitate about that one because people are saying good things. I'm told a lot of the times, thank you, you're doing a great job. I really appreciate the information that you're giving. These comments were given on Facebook, and it's saying, that this one, they were very, thankful that I had the information, and giving them information about that there are people that are doing the shopping online quite quickly, and so they're not paying attention, and so that thanks for the information. And another one says, God bless you for sharing this and wanting to protect people and their most vulnerable time. And then, we love you, Darlene. You are doing a great job. I loved your powerful knowledge you are sharing for us. It is so interesting. So, and I do say that people are saying other things, but they don't want to put it in writing. And again, it's that because they have been scammed, it's the shame, it's the embarrassment, it's the anxiety, so these kinds of things. It's hard to get and I'm working on it so that you do have some idea, um, that it's important, and it's important to share the information. I have friends who were involved in romance scams, and they were very thankful that they were able to get out of it. And but they don't. But they're living good lives now. One lady is getting married. Another one is in a long-term relationship. So good things are happening. So I am very happy about that. So where do we go from here? Well, as part of you signing up for the webinar and attending the webinar, um, there I want to give out as much information as I can, as I am the giver. There are so many more types of scams that people need to know about, and so much more awareness to be given. So I'm giving a bonus of providing next Tuesday, which is February 2nd, how to identify if someone has stolen your identity and how to get it back. And that is, you really need to make sure that you are keeping track of your identity. So, and then tips on what to do if you or a loved one has been scammed. I think that that's something that people do need to know. They need to be able to protect themselves, and once they've been scammed, chances are you are a target for a very long time, and they're going to catch you again, during a time when you are tired or anxious, or they're watching for you. So, tips on that. So that is going to be on February 9th at 2 p.m. And I have to say, it's 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So, and then we also are offering a 1 hour consultation if your computer for your computer, and it's with my affiliate Ed Lysick of Computer Age Service Enterprises, and I'll post his information in the comments section. And also, I have I'm just going to, sorry, there's a Facebook Live group called Scam Prevention 101, and that is the educational piece of it. And I'll be offering stealing your dignity and your passion and your pride and how to recover. It's it's a It's an infographic, or not an infographic. It's a PDF magazine, or PDF. I don't know what to call it. Kind of like a magazine. Sorry, I didn't mean to click that button there. It's um, it's it's a booklet, and it was done by, I'm going to say, Master Graphics, because Cindy is awesome, and so if you need someone to do your graphic design, she was amazing at it, because when I tried to do it myself, it was like, oh. But she did an amazing job, so you'll have access to this, and I will include that as well. And in it, it has such topics as your story matters, because your story does. If a person has been a victim of scam, they have been living in isolation and manipulation, probably. And so there's a story in there. It says your story matters, a story of isolation and manipulation. There's a contest in there to be able to tell your story. Maybe writing it out will give you some relief. And if you need help with that, I can help you with that. There's also an article on listening with empathy. So when somebody's telling you that they've been scammed, you'll be able to, your first inclination will be to be empathetic. And I know it's hard not to be judgmental sometimes. You don't mean to be. It's just you have such high regard for a person that you wonder how they could do that. But we want that to be, listening with empathy to be your first point. And then there's also what to do if you or someone you know has been scammed. So this publication will be given to you for free. There's also other added value resources in this, and there are affiliates who support me in supporting you, so you'll be able to get their information on it. And so you get that, and then, sorry, I'm just reading the comments here. Thank you, Cindy. Yes, publication. That's the word I was looking for. Okay. Um, the next is, let's stay connected. But I think that it's important to keep giving information. And so when I say let's stay connected, Scam Prevention International is offering a monthly subscription membership. And in it, like I said before, there's a private Facebook group called Scam Prevention 101. And there you'll have like-minded people that you'll be able to talk to. If you've been scammed, you'll have somebody that you can talk to. If you have a friend that you think um, has been scammed, then you'll be able to find different ways of talking to them. If you want to know what the latest scams are, so you know what to be looking out for, all that information will be in there. And you'll be able to find out how to talk to people if if your friends or family, like you're suspecting that they are, like, you just know in your gut that they're being scammed, but they're not telling you. And so we can give you the signs, and probably we can tell you where to go to have them go to see that the signs are there, and hopefully they'll listen to what everybody is saying. Monthly Zoom education and awareness webinars we'll be doing once a month. And there, each week there will be mini videos, and this is in the private group. On There'll be mini videos of tips on new scam prevention that we've heard about. And so there are, like, I get I subscribe to many of the software sites and the different government places, and there's so many out there I wouldn't be able to keep up. So this would be a great opportunity to learn about them. And each quarter the publication will come out, and it will include true stories, new topics, tips and tricks on how to avoid being scammed. And this is all for a total of $14.97 Canadian per month. And a bonus this month is I'm giving the month of February free. And why am I doing that? Because February is the month of love. It's the month of romance scams. It's the month of catfishing. And truly and honestly, I want you all to be safe. Like this is and it's a necessity to be able to help other people as well, because this is when people get lonely. They want that relationship. They want to be with someone. So that's why I'm doing this for the month of February. Why would you want to have a monthly membership? And it seems kind of, a lot of my friends are saying, who's going to buy a membership on scam prevention? Like you can just look it up online. If you want something, you just go, well, I'm going to go look online. And I go, well, yes. And here are the reasons. It's to save yourself, because are you going to go look online? And you're going to get so much information, so many different conflict. And I got to tell you, I even saw a scammer have a website that is about scam prevention. So you got to be careful even in looking. And so to have to save yourself, you would want a membership to save yourself or loved ones from losing your life savings. And I'm going to add in losing your heart. And you want to ensure that you are aware of not having your identity stolen. And so that's, learning how to, like, what is it that you can do to prevent yourself from getting your identity stolen? And to ensure that you are up to date on the latest scams, because some of the old scams that they've had way back in the day, they're coming back, but they're coming back because they're scams that they did in person, but now they're scams that they are doing on the internet. And I received a lot of information from Frank Abagnale, and he was the author of Catch Me If You Can, the movie that was Leonardo DiCaprio. And he said he was really surprised at how easy it is to steal money from people, because we give so much information out there. So we want to bring the skills to educate and bring awareness to your loved ones. And we want you to connect to like-minded people who want a safe, fun space to play and work on the internet. Like they can be fun. It doesn't have to always be doom and gloom. If it becomes part of your natural being, then you just go on the line and you don't bother. Things don't bother you because you know that's what you're supposed to be doing. And to get support when talking to friends or family members who have been scammed, or you suspect they've been scammed, and to learn what to say when people tell you that they've been scammed. So I think for $14.97 a month Canadian, I think that sounds to me like a pretty good deal. I would like you to follow me, and this is where if you have a smartphone, or if you can do a print screen, or if you can write really fast, um, do follow me. I post different things on different sites and keep people updated. These aren't private. These are for everybody to see, because the whole world needs to know, in my opinion, about scam prevention. So do follow me, and do like and do share when you see, because I have to tell you a story. I can't name names, but I had a friend text me a little while ago and saying, "Hey, I'm wondering if you can tell me some information about these robocalls that people are getting." And I'm like, "Oh, why is that?" And she was telling me the story about a friend that was caught up with the robocalling, that she only did her taxes every 2 years. And so when the government called her, she ended up losing $10,000. And because I'm not a I told you so person, and I hope she's not watching this, because I don't want her to know that I think that in that situation, I did an infographic, and that particular one didn't get shared by anybody. I don't, and so it's, and also I am, if you do see my infographics, you know what? I am more than happy to receive any feedback in regards to them. I'm not a graphic artist, so I just kind of fake it in regards to making the infographics. But please, if you have suggestions on how to make them better, how to make people, how to have people see them, how to have people share them, I'm all for taking on people's support for that. Thank you. So let's stay in touch. And you can, if you have any inquiries or supports, you can email me. It's at, again, another opportunity to screenshot or take a photo. You can call me at, my email is Darlene at scampreventioninternational.com. That's the one thing I gotta say, I felt really lucky. I was able to get what it is that I do in the name. So it's always scampreventioninternational.com. Except for the education piece, which is Darlene, um, sorry, no, Darlene, is at Scam Prevention 101. Those are the education pieces. So Darlene at scampreventioninternational.com is my email. www.scampreventioninternational.com is my website. And I have a number for Canada and I have a number for the States. If they call, it's the US, and it's 9156 no scam. And so that's 915-666-7226. And in other countries, I am on WhatsApp. They would just dial the +1 587 432 6198. So go now to register to the um, Scam Prevent. Go to Scam Prevention International and register for the monthly subscription. And when you go to Scam Prevention International, click on the red button and it will take you to a registration form. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, I'm always looking for comments about the presentation as well. If this has impacted you in any way, please let me know. Um, and please do text me, and those are my numbers again. And you can screenshot that. And I think that's pretty much about it. So, does anyone have any questions? Well, thank you for the comment, Cindy, about the information providing is very necessary and long overdue. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so very much. And I really thank you for coming out today, and others for watching it. And I hope that we will all be in contact again over the wires, because that's how we communicate with people these days. And thank you. So thank you very much for coming to the webinar, and I will be looking forward to talking to you all soon. Thank you.